Okay, everybody has a
Ask her.
Take your drink.
All right.
You can pour that out of water.
Right.
Okay.
Sad.
Okay, are you ready? Good morning, Sue and Denny and Diane. We are here in the Curry Village. I want to introduce you to a couple friends I've met recently who are members of the Bear Locker Coffee Clutch Society. Yes, as it will forever be called. And they have something to share with you, you know. Like I would start with, talk about your dad and about his life.
Right.
And what your guys' life were like.
Right.
You know?
We were Navy brats.
And you can yell and scream.
We moved
do whatever.
around all the time.
Yeah.
Typically every 2 years we were transferred, and it usually oscillated sea duty, shore duty, sea duty, shore duty, but typically coastal. Like we were always like, he was in the Navy. We lived along a body of water.
Talk about that. Talk about Coronado and where you lived in Coronado.
So we were in Coronado in 1970 for about a year. And we lived on Olive Avenue, 1027 Olive Avenue. Nice big old house. It's still there. And we were there for a year.
If you wanted to go to San Diego, you had to take the ferry.
Yes, before.
Yeah. That's when you were there.
No. By the time I got there, the bridge was there.
The bridge
just opened
No.
that fall. It opened right when we got there, probably in the fall of '69.
We
And then
did go there
because
when
I
we
never
rode
took the ferry.
I rode the ferry one time.
I never took the ferry, but
And
but it was all the ferry stands were there, the docks and everything.
The
And maybe
pier.
the ferries were still going, but you didn't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It became a tourist attraction.
Yes,
Yep.
because it actually went till 15 years ago.
Right. We ended up later in his career, when by the time we were all in high school, we ended up in Arlington, Virginia. He worked for a time at the Pentagon, and then he worked Naval District, Washington. And we all went to Wakefield High School, all but my older sister. She finished high school when we were in California.
And we eventually ended up in that house in Arlington, on Arlington Ridge Road. So 3 of us, my younger brother, myself, and this sister, went to Wakefield High School for, I went 10th, 11th, 12th. She went 11th, 12th, and my brother went all 3 years.
He also went to Gunston.
Yes.
Oh,
His
yeah.
sister
Talk
went
about
to
Gunston.
Gunston.
Yeah, well, we lived a block away from Gunston, right?
That's what I told him.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we lived about a block away from Gunston. So when we first moved into the house, John, the youngest one, went to Gunston for a year. She and I were in Wakefield.
Why don't you tell the Sibs about the relationship, how the gradual transformation from the, it was an all-white school when we were there. That's all we experienced, and then we left in '59.
Right.
So why don't you?
Yeah, I was
because
71 to 73.
Yeah. So tell them about the transition towards. Because now it's a black school.
They were busing everybody in, and it was very disproportionate. But everybody was bused in. So and there was a little resentment there because they closed the black school, the school that had been primarily black. They closed
Was that
their
Greenfield?
Green Valley,
Green
I think
Valley.
it was called.
Yeah.
So they closed that school and they bused those kids to the school that used to be predominantly white. And that's like you displace them, you took
Right.
their familiar thing away and put them in the unknown. It is what it is, but it was
But it was interesting to hear, because when he said he went there, it was 100%
Yeah,
white.
it was.
And then when we went there, it was about 30% black.
Right.
And then he says when he went back for his 50th reunion, it was 100% black, which is
right.
a huge transition.
Yeah, it
Actually,
was.
what some of my contemporary friends, their daughter Elaine, who is like Hillary's age, she's like around 40. She taught at Wakefield. her mom and dad grew up, or she was raised at the top of Ridge Road, 23rd Street, that neighborhood up in there. And when she got out of college, she wanted to teach school. Wakefield cured her of that. She lasted about a year and a half, and she's like, no, can't do it.
Can't do it.
Especially not at the high school level. It was too much.
Well, listen, you guys. I'm sure that we really appreciate your. I know they're going to go crazy over this.
Good.
You know, for sure. You know.
Well, I
yes.
was so stunned to meet somebody that had the,
Yeah.
Hey, you know what used
Well-
to happen when I was a kid?
What?
Was when we were in the Navy. We would move from town to town, and we were always running into the same families. You know,
Oh, really?
See the same
like
people.
10%. Like my mom and dad had about 5 sets of friends that we probably lived in the same town as them every 4 years. So we'd hit them in Charleston, and then 6
Gibsons.
years later we'd hit this family in this town, and then you know what I mean? We're all moving
And we
around,
knew
but we
their
all ended up in
children.
the same place
Also,
a couple of times. It was
and
really
if they
funny.
already lived there, then when we're moving there, we would stay with them
yeah,
until
yeah,
we
yeah.
got a house.
Yeah.
We would repeatedly run
Run into
across.
I guess we need to wrap this up. You
Yes,
know.
your
You know.
sisters will,
Thi-
yes.
This is yes, from so yeah. I really thank you guys for doing this.
Hey, it's
they're
been
really
a
good. They're really
ball.
going to appreciate it. I'm
It's been
telling
a
you.
ball getting
Yeah.
Edit
to
the
know
heck
you.
out of it.
This is Janine
And Roberta.
and Paul and Roberta and our cinematographer Barbara
Yes.
signing off from Yosemite Valley. Thanks for listening.
That was good.
Bye.
I hope that was running.